everyone, welcome back to Kirsty Colouring Sketch. I thought I would colour in this one today. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Charles Santore. So I've not coloured in this book for quite a while, and I thought I would do it for one of Colouring Chat with Sammy's checklist challenges, which can be put down for colour a page with a well-known character. So everyone knows who Alice is. So I thought I would do this page. I just think it's so sweet, and all them tears she's crying are just ending up in a puddle here, so it'll be quite fun to colour. I have already coloured a couple of pages in this, which I'll show you. That was one of them, and then the other one was that one. But because it's Alice and she obviously features throughout the book, when I coloured this one I did jot down the colours that I used for the dress, and obviously her tights, her headboard, her hair, and all that, so that I could get it the same colours every time I colour her. So hopefully I'll be able to get this the same sort of colours. And it was the Arteza pencils that I used, so I hope you're going to enjoy me using those pencils today. And I'm going to start off with a dress, I think. So the two colours, all my pencils are going to roll off now, they're having a field day over here. The two colours I'm going to use for her dress, the yellow part, is, you'll have to forgive these pencils, they're so well used, they've no names and numbers, but I have just wrote this down, and it is sapphire yellow, this one, A028, and then lemon yellow, A004. So I'm going to go in with the lightest shade all over first. So this is the sapphire yellow, A028. Yeah, they're so well loved, these Arteza pencils, that a lot of them have just rubbed off. They really have. So I'm just trying to work out what's her pinny here. She has like an apron over the top, and I think that's that section. So I'm just going to miss that out and just do all the sleeve here with a base of this. I'm just going to check, I'm not sure what colour that band is there. I don't know if I coloured that in the last page or not. I think I just did it yellow from looking at that. Yeah, we'll just go for yellow. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm sure you'll all let me know. But I really love this book. Like I say, this is the third image that I'm colouring in here so far. I do have the Peter Pan as well, and the Wizard of Oz by Charles Santore. But if I'm honest, there's not many pages in the Wizard of Oz that appeal to me. It is quite a detailed one, whereas there's larger images in this one. The Wizard of Oz is a lot more detailed, which I'm not all that keen on. I prefer the bigger images to colour. So I think we've got a puddle starting there. I don't think that's part of a dress. I think that's a bit of a puddle from them tears. So I'm just going to leave that out. I've not used my Arteza pencils in a long time actually. I need to get them out more. It's just that thing about the names being rubbed off now. I need to be able to find all the names for them when I'm doing a colouring chat, so that I can let you know. So I'm just basing it all, I'm not doing anything special here. And then we're gonna go in with the 004, was it? For some shading over all the grayscale areas. You can see that's what makes it easy. You just go over where they've already put the shadows in. I've got one of Carolina. Oh, I'm not going to be able to pronounce the last name, but one of her books is Ticket to Dreams, but I've not ordered that one. I've ordered the one that she's re-released again, the hardback book, after seeing it on Lucy Just Adds Colours channel, and that's heavily grayscale too, but I'm really looking forward to that coming. I really like the illustrations that are inside that book, really beautiful. And I'm so glad that Lucy posted them, because I've been looking at her books for the longest time, but again with the shipping costs on Etsy, I just didn't commit. But now she has a website which is cheaper shipping, so which was fantastic. Now let me just check. I think this bit here sticking out of her is part of this pinny that's over the top. And this is the front of the penny. I'm not sure what this little shadow is here, whether that's a neck, a little bit of a neck. I'm really not sure. I think I'm going to colour that as a neck. There might be a bit of fabric, some sort of fabric there, but I'm really not sure what it is. So I'm going to go in with the darker shade of yellow now. This is the lemon yellow, A004. And I'm just going to follow all the grayscale, so anywhere where it's got grayscale, I'm going to go over with this pencil. Oh, in case you missed it as well, I did do a colouring chat in the Circle of Life that you all voted for. So that is on the channel if you've missed that. And that's in real time as well. So I think it took me an hour and 40 minutes to do one of those pages, but I did it in watercolour with pencil over the top, which makes it a lot easier. When you put a base down, it makes things easier. You can see I'm just going over all that grayscale. I'm going to go down how this is really dark here. I'm going to use a hard pressure and then I'm going to blend it out lightly, because you can see the grayscale gets lighter here. So I'm going to press on hard on this section and then slowly lift off pressure. Again, this wouldn't be as dark. The grayscale's slightly lighter on this part. Bit darker here in the corner. When it's not grayscale and you're trying to figure out the dark areas yourself, I find that the hardest with fabrics. I really do. It's quite tricky. I think I need to get myself a book. I've got a swatch book, but I need like another book for writing down my colour combos or colours that I've used on certain pages, rather than printing sheets of paper. That's what I've done. I printed a sheet of paper out with all my colour combos on it. So this bit's dark under here. Do this little bit. I'm trying to work out what this little bit is as well. I think that is a part of the dress or part of the bow at the back. Oh, I'll have a think about that. That bit's the dress, a really dark bit of it. Does anybody else find it slightly more intimidating when you're doing an image like a well-known character that you know you have to get the colours right on? I find that quite tricky. I was looking at this page. It was a toss-up between this page and the Mad Hatter page. I thought Alice is probably more recognisable. Let's have a step back and have a look at that. I think I'm going to bring a little bit more colour up here. Just ever so slightly. Now I'm going to go in deep under here because this is really shaded down here. This is the bit underneath her. So we're going to go in with a really hard pressure. You can see the grayscale is really heavy. You could as well, you could use alcohol markers in this book if you don't mind it going over the writing on the other side. I mean, because there's no illustration there. If you don't mind it going over the writing. Because I had thought about that. I had thought it would have been so much easier to put a base down of alcohol marker. But yeah. I think that's part of the dress as well, just a little bit underneath. Now she has a slight gap here in the middle of her feet, and I'm wondering, would that be dress? Because if you see this come round and then it it drops down here, I almost think that that would be dress there. So I'm gonna go in ever so slightly like that, and then I'm just going to shade the sleeve. So again, just going into the grayscale areas. I'm using a hard pressure where it's the darkest, and then using circular motions to lift off into a light pressure. Has anybody else actually got this book? Or any of Charles Santor's other books? I mean, I would probably stick to pastels and pencils in this book because it is quite thin paper. It's a nice paper though, your pencils go down absolutely beautifully on it. But I wouldn't put any water media on these pages. Definitely wouldn't put water media on. I mean, that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just going to deepen up some of these really darker areas a little bit. It's a bit better. There we go. I think now I'm gonna go in for this little pinny under here. So let me just check what colour I did that on here. So it was predominantly white, and then it's got this blue stripe running throughout it. So let's see if we can see the stripe. The stripe is just here, I think. Would it be on the end? Might be this little bit here, and then down here, if you can see that. Yeah, I think so. So the front part is completely white here. So I need to go in with some sort of white pencil. I think that's what I did there. Right, let's give it a go. Which blue did I use though? That's the question. I don't know whether I wrote down the actual blue that I used for that bit. I think it was this one. We're gonna go with this one. So this blue, which I cannot pronounce and you can barely see because it's rubbed off, but it is Mykonos Blue A104. So I am just gonna go in here with a hard pressure, release the pressure to the center. Again at the other end, hard pressure, release it in the center. So we've got a bit of a and then we're gonna follow this up here, round and down. like that. I think that's as much as we need on there. It's hard to work out what's what because I'm trying to look now and figure out what this bit is here. Whether that's part of the bow or part of the pinny at the back. I think it's the pinny at the back. We're just gonna go for that because this looks like the same strip of blue. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's hard trying to work out what's what in illustrations sometimes. It's the hardest bit. So I'm going to say that this little tiny section here is another one of those strips because this is the end of the arm there. So we're going to go for that. There. And I think that's it. Let me just check. I think I used the same colour for her ribbon, if not a bit lighter. I think I used some lighter colours in her ribbon. So let's try and get this one. So I'm going to base her bow with the Periwinkle Blue A068. I'm going to bring you in a bit while I get to her head. There we go. So I'm going to base all the bow. So we've got this bit down here. It's a really nice blue, this Periwinkle. What is this? Is that part of the... Oh, that's that one, isn't it? Coming down. Yeah, that's the bow, isn't it? At the front. That's all the little headband. I think that's it. So now I'm going to go in with a darker colour. I think, let me check my little list of things that we've got. I think I'm going to use the Prussian blue, the A142. I'm going to use this to deepen up some of the areas on the bow. So that one. Underneath here, and I'm going to bring a little bit out onto the top of the ribbon there. Underneath the underside of this. It's a bit darker here in the centre. This looks like a shadow from the ribbon on a face, so I'll do that with skin tones in a little bit. can hear someone beeping outside. So these are the same sort of shades as well, these two shades that I'm going to use for the tights as well, but I will be bringing an even deeper blue into the shadows on the tights because they are quite a heavier grayscale. There we go. I'm just going to skim back over it all with this Periwinkle blue. And I'll use the same colour, Periwinkle blue, and we're going to go in on a tights with a base coat of this. It's so iconic, these colours, isn't it? Trying to get it as similar as I can. On the bottom of a little foot here, what's sticking out the shoe. It's got cute little shoes. So now that base is down, I'm gonna go in with the Prussian Blue, the A142, and I'm gonna start off right in this darkest area under here, and I'm gonna be using a hard pressure. Just to get that line, so it stops there. So I'm using a hard pressure, and then I'm going to slowly release it as we go to the top of the leg. You can see where the grayscale is getting lighter. I'm going to leave like a little highlight on top there. There we go. Now I'm going to start this other side here. So you can see there's a shadow what a dress is forming on this leg. So I'm going to start off with a deep hard pressure here this time. And under here. And now you can slowly release that pressure, so it's a medium pressure you're using. Just going to sharpen this pencil. It's got a strange edge to it going on. Hopefully that's done the trick. They sound really scratchy, these pencils on this paper. They're not. I can bring that colour in towards the centre a bit lighter. I'm going to leave that little highlight there as well. And move on to the bottom here. Just blending that harsh line into the centre. go. I'm just gonna go in now with a bit of a deeper blue. This one is Midnight Blue, and all the text name and number is rubbed off this one, but it is Midnight Blue. I'm not quite sure of the number on it, unfortunately. It is all rubbed off, and I'm just gonna go into the really dark sections with this bit. Right, I'm going to go in now with the lightest colour that we put down first, just to go over everything and blend it all out a bit. So that was the Periwinkle Blue A068. Now in the centre, because I don't want to make it go too deep with this Periwinkle Blue, I'm going to go over that with my blending pencil or my titanium buff pencil, which works well to blend. So let's have a look what I can find on my desk. Oh, I do apologise, I've just knocked you off the tripod almost. Let me just find one of these pencils. I still don't know where my little Cavendish blenders disappeared to. I'm going to have a look in here. In this pot of tricks. Nope, there's a white Holbein. There's no Cavendish blender. What's in here? Oh, could that be it? The teeniest, tiniest Cavendish blender. There we go. No wonder I can't find it. I need another pen pot. There's too much going on in here. There we go. Let's pop that out the way. Apologise about that. So this is my Cavendish blender. It's brilliant, but I do need to order myself another one because it's teeny tiny. But I'm just going to use this to go over the whiter areas. Just to blend it in a bit more. I do find these good if you don't want everything to turn white, because I think sometimes when you go over with your Prismacolor white, it can tend to put this white coating over the top of your colour, and the Cavendish blenders don't do that. They sort of just, I don't know, they're like magic. I love them. I love them. So I need to get some more. I'll link these in the description of this video, actually, these blenders, if anyone's interested. They are really good. There we go, that's the tights done. So I'm going to do a shoes now. I'm just going to use my Prismacolor black for a shoes. This is a baby pencil as well. Look at the size of that. PC935. I need to get another one of these. So our shoes are this sort of black paintant, so they're going to be really, really deep black. The only sort of little highlight and shine you can see are here, which have already been put in for you. So I'm just going to go in with the really heavy black parts first, and I am using a hard pressure. I'm almost block colouring these in because that's what, you know, these shoes are like. They're a really heavy black. I know, because my daughters all wear these shoes for school. So you can just see the shoe goes up here to this side. Then we would have the deep line there. I'm just mapping out the shape of the shoe first. Finding out where it is, and then we'll fill it in. So that's part of that shoe. There we go. So I'm going to go in now with a deep pressure. Then when I get towards the highlight, I'm going to slowly release my pressure so it's not this harsh line towards the highlight. So using circular motions, I'm slightly lifting off just towards that highlight, lifting off some pressure. Like that. And again, I'm going to do the same. I'll just map out where that other shoe is there. That's it. So I'm just going to finish these shoes off, and then I'm going to call that part 1. And then in part 2, I'll try and finish the rest of it. So it's the background, her skin, her hair, and this little fan, which will be cool to colour. I'm not sure what, I can do that any colour. I can pick any colour for that. So I'll have a think about what colour I want. So you can see there where I've lifted off a tiny bit of pressure towards the highlight. So that's one shoe done. Now moving on to this shoe. So again, I'm going to start off with the darkest part up here. It's got a little buckle, it looks like, here on this one. Oh, it's so hard to try and keep hold of this pencil. I don't have any pencil extenders. I keep saying I'm going to order some and I keep just forgetting or not looking for any. I'm going to map out the shoe again. So I'm going to go around all the shape of the shoe. It's a little highlight there. A little highlight on the end. Get that in. At least this pencil's holding up a point because I don't think it'll fit in my sharpener. I think it'd get lost inside my sharpener, it's that small. How do you all sharpen your pencils when they get so tiny? It's a good question. I have the swordfish sharpener. There's no way this would go in there. It'd probably get... It would get lost. So that's the really black part of the shoe at the back, the heel. And then it starts getting a bit lighter towards the little highlight here. She's not got any scuffs on her shoes like my children come home with. Nice shiny shoes. So, I'm gonna go in with a bit of a deeper pressure up here. And here is still quite dark at the bottom. I'm going to get my blending pencil out again in a minute just to blend in these little highlighted areas. Because I don't want these ones to be too harsh. I do want them to blend a little more. There we go, blending pencil, and I'm just going to go over this part. There we go, there's the shoes done. So I'll zoom you out a little bit. There you go, so that's what we've done so far. We've done a dress, a little apron, a headband, her tights and her shoes. So please do give this video a thumbs up, drop me a comment down below, and stay tuned for part 2 where we'll be colouring the skin, the hair, the fan and doing the whole of the background. See you again soon, bye bye.